Okay, this is working. Okay. So our training was talking about the monitoring and evaluation. In sequence, we will talk about monitoring, and after monitoring, we talk about a little bit about the evaluation, and we will do a big example. But before the big example that we will do, which is will cover everything, we will do some frameworks and M&E frameworks. So what we talked before 4 days, something like that, and 2 days. Yeah, we talk about the monitoring and evaluation and what is the monitoring and what is the evaluation. And mainly the monitoring is in, okay, should we open the video? Yeah. So mainly the monitoring is a routine process that you will do on timely basis, or always you will do. You will make your call. You will verify the details that shown to reach your objective. Okay, so it is a measurement of data collection and measurement of a progress toward the program objective. Okay, it is not also a measurement. It is also verifying the data. Okay, make sure that this information are real or not. Okay, this information is exist or not, because uh, before 4 years, something like that, when people was, let's say, I will give you example, a little example. We was dealing with the, I think it was the cash programs. So there is should be a list and we should distribute to them, but a lot of corruption happened. And you know, some families, they came for, let's say, a relative, they are coming, let's say favorism is happening in this program, especially in money type of programs. So we was putting a verification, things like photo, ID, food rations number, and sometimes it is happen to be fingerprint. And after that, okay, it is account in Zain Cash, for example, or Asi Hawala, and you send to them directly to your beneficiaries. Yeah, so a lot of list was how we call them, the name wasn't exist, it is only name on the papers on the first programs when they done it firstly in the in the country. So they found out it is not real, it is fake names. And so they put more and more and more regulation to make this to happen. So the team was checking this information, always the monitoring team checking this information, checking if your implementation partner or your staff are doing the programs, doing the details of the programs, to check it to reach to the objective. Okay, the objective is a target, and the target, which mainly you can measure it by numbers. Yeah. Evaluation is a social research method to systematically investigate an achievement of program results. So here you are reaching to the, this one better. Yeah. Here you are reaching to the objective. And after that, after 3 or 4 objective or main objective, key objective of the program, you will back here to the result. Yeah. We already speak about that, so I don't want to cut from the time. Yeah, sorry from this one, but I'm clearing over for everybody to make you remember that. What is the purpose of carrying out M&E? Who need use M&E? We talk about that, everything we talk about here. So what is the main purpose of carrying out M&E? It is to check the information if it is valid, to check my progress, let's say, to manage and handle my output rightly in time, manner, and in efficiency. Okay, informing future programming, informing stakeholders, improve program implementation, etc. Who will need it? Assistant, manager, officer, and backed by the sequence of your hierarchy of your organization, depend on your position, what is now. After the manager, maybe the director or the donor or the government or whatever, who will need it. Yeah. program implementer, stakeholders, M&E technical skills, program, identifying, and we was talking about the program framework, which is we talk about the BCM and the LFA, and we will talk about in details about these type of things. So program framework, and we talk, it is a systematic layout. So anything systematic, you will think about something with the frame that there is an output, there is a goal inside it, there is an objective inside it, there is a vision you want to reach to this place to do and achieve, and how you will do it and how you will achieve it. Okay. This was an example. This was the structure used by USAID, which is strategies, intermediate result, which they called IRSO, strategic objective and impact. And we talk about the impact, which is will happen for a society or country level, or depend on the level of the project that you are dealing with. Sometimes you cannot call them an impact because it's not make a change. And this is why we need the social research for the evaluation to check if this impact happen. Okay. Goal, yeah, this is the same with the explantation. So strategies, we said your way of movement to reach to your objective, and for your strategic objective and the number of the objective, it will lead you to your goal. And this basic model, I ask you to do it, and some of you send it, and one or two, they didn't send it, I think. I'm checking that. Yeah, this is the basic one, which is covering, let's say, a lot of things, but it is not the one you will use in your work. But this is the basics, which is sometimes we call it, let's say, your frame, your main basics, your main method, yeah, that you will do your basic logical models or logical frameworks. Yeah, and we said the input is your item you have, your goods that you have, your equipment, your money, your staff, that all is input. The activity, how you will, the method that you are doing to achieve the objective. The output is the number of the, let's say, your objective, your main objective, how you reach it, number, let's say the number of the people who trained, the number of the people who got improved, depend. You will, let's say 90%, you will measure the output by numbers, and the outcome sometimes it will come as a qualitative answer, which is an increase in quality. Yeah, these type of things, an increase of skills, behavior, and these type of things, reaching to the impact, which is not impacting 1 or 2% impact on whole case. Okay, so we make a comparison between USAID and others with this. It is also the same, and there's other are using different kind of method, but mainly the overall reachment, when you do the effectiveness of your program, it is impact, strategic objective or purpose, specific objective, intermediate result, and output activities, cluster activities, and input. We saw that and we talk about it. Yeah. So this is the framework, and we said these cases. So who solved these cases? I saw you already sent it. Okay. And we talk about that. We will have an time for, let's say, for solution and these type of things. This is the exercise. This is the questions, and we'll talk about that. I think we reached after the indicators. Yeah, let's remember that good indicator should be valid, reliable, precise, timely, and comparable, which is you can compare it with other segment or other target group. Timely, you can measure it in interval or appropriate level of change expected. Precise should be accurate when you are talking about an indicator. It should be gives the same result if measured in the same way. Should be valid, measure the effect it is supposed to measure. Okay. So this is 5 point of the good indicator. If one day you get asked for that, or if you sometimes you wanted to evaluate an indicator, you should put these in your mind, like the SMART formula, which is specific, achievable, relevant, measurable, and time bound. Criteria for indicator selection, constant with the project design. We'll talk about the project design yesterday, the day before the yesterday. Useful contribute to the project design, management, and evaluation, available and affordable, which is, it means that in same line with your budget line or budget code that you put for each indicator. For example, if the indicator cutting more budget line, this is totally different, depend on. Yeah, standard indicators, we talk about that, and exercise, we will talk about it. So now here, if you can see, this is a sample of monitoring and evaluation framework. Okay, you see it? Let me just bring this one on. I think this is, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so as I told you, it is totally different from each organization to other, but this is, let's say, only the main thing you will put inside your M&E framework. And after that, after also you will, I will ask you to make a sample of that, which is, it is very easy. First of all, take a picture for it, because you will need to try after 10 minutes, something like that. And after when we done from that, I will show you an exact one, which is from BMZ, and we will see how they are done it. And we will make a comparison between that, and what we have to do. And also your organization, also they have their own M&E framework and their own M&E toolkit depend. And in the future, or right now, you are sometimes developing this toolkit. If you are working as, for example, consultant or program manager, sometimes they ask you to create a new toolkit, develop a new kit, and we will talk about that, because a toolkit, it have a lot of let's say document, not also only about M&E. It will have, let's say, the questionnaires, the thing like, let's say, for case management and these type of things, you put it in the toolkit, and also your M&E plan and the other thing that we will see in next 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, result. So here, as I told you, it is a small M&E framework. It is starting by result, which is what I need from this project. And here it is, let's say it is vice versa in some frameworks. Why that? So indicator is a proportion of a trained clinician performing X system to standards. Definition: number of trained midwife performing all the steps of X system on all patients. So the indicator, what is the direct beneficiaries, for example, the direct people who will get trained by my organization. Sometimes the definition is came, what happened after this indicator, which is after I'm teaching 10 clinicians, for example, they will teach 50 or 20 midwives. So the number of these midwives who got the training on the system and they can apply it for the patient. And sometimes there is, in some framework, you cannot find the definition. You only have the indicators, and the indicators is direct to your direct beneficiaries, which is the direct criteria measurement. You will see numbers or percentage, or you can call it proportion, or depend, but should be specific. Okay. So sometimes you don't find the definition, only the indicator. The data source. So how many data sources you know in monitoring and evaluation work? If you can count me one, that will be good. What is the data source that you are gathering information in your monitoring work? Survey, questionnaires, target group, okay. Who have more? Just mention to us. And if you wanted to say it, go say it. Just raise your hand and tell us about that data source. Which is, this is very important. Sometimes people get mixed with this one. Yeah. Okay, guys. Statics department. Okay. So when you are conducting a monitoring work, when we are saying monitoring checklist, let's say, for example, it is the names, for example, of the people, and we have sometimes a surveys that we will get the information from these people, or questionnaires, or assessment, for example, but it will be not called assessment. So there is a tool, and you will get this information, and you will ask the people about it. This one thing. And this is when you are conducting a monitoring work. When you are conducting it, just remember. So let's say the monitoring sheet, they call it the monitoring rule. Sometimes they call it the monitoring checklist, the monitoring names. For example, if it is a food, let's say a food project or program, sometimes you have a list provided from the Department of Trade, or the Ministry of Trade, or from WFB, which is sometimes also they can call it a monitoring list or a monitoring checklist. Also, data source for the program, which is when you are doing a program or think about the need or the background context and these type of things. This is, we have a lot of type of data sources, like the magazine, the newspaper, the DTM, for example, the targeting group or focus group discussions, FGD. We have the statics from the, let's say, the Ministry of Statics or Statics Department. We have from the clusters, we have from the news, we have, there's a lot of sources. But in monitoring work, it is the information, let's say the names of the people, the details of what they have done or what my staff done to them. I wanted to check it. This is my main priority. And sometimes it is not about only calling, because monitoring is not only calling. Monitoring is you go to the site. So if you want to get the information, you will sit with the people and talk with them, or you will distribute your surveys. This is, we are talking about the data source of monitoring. So collection method. Can anyone explain to me what is collection method? If you want to just do voice, just raise your hand and I will. Anyone have idea? Please go ahead. Interviews, correct? By person, okay. Okay. So when you read method, it is a way. Just, okay. So method is the way that you collect the information. the way that you will get the information. Anytime you read method, it is a way. How you will get the information, for example, the way that you will get the information, moving and talking, looking and hearing, talking with them as in interviews, come to them and get the information by tablet, for example, for Kobo toolbox, for example, and there's a lot of toolbox, but this one from Harvard. So yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to collect the information. We put one here, which is observation, but always keep in your mind, yes, correct. In humanitarian, we have some term that we are only saying it, but be more flexible when you are saying something. You can say sitting with the staff or hearing them, which is a type of, let's say, meeting or gathering or whatever. So don't be distracted, but what I'm saying, only observation. That's what I mean here. Keep that in your mind. Yeah, frequency, it is how many times you will do it. So in this one, this is an a development project. In development project, you will have, let's say, maybe annual time to see how many times they distributed and how, so because you have a time. But if it is, let's say, emergency project or recovery project, for example, depend on the period, you will say maybe weekly, monthly, daily basis, whatever that what you will write here, which is, this is the time or the interval of how many times do you do it. And exactly, let's say each week I will call, I will gather the information from this type of the people who got trained, and I need this result from this one. I have to check, which is monitoring is checking if that happened. Okay. And responsible parties. So do we have another option for this one? Let's say, for example, organization staff, or what? Who will conduct the monitoring? Sometimes, remember, sometimes they call them a field staff or M&E staff or mule staff, which is the responsible parties. But there is another type of people who intervene in this one. Eliminator. Okay. No, Salah. Casual workers, or it is the people who will gather the information. Sometimes the people who's doing the monitoring, who's doing the monitoring. So if you hear about that or not here before, there is an organization who will, they have their own detected work to do a monitoring for the staff, not for the project. You make a contract with them to monitor your staff. This is, for example, I'm talking about the staff. This is about the project. Sometimes you hire a consultant or contracting company. Sometimes maybe the donor will hire an organization to do that. Maybe the donor, he have a selected team to do the monitoring. For example, IOM, they are doing it sometimes. They have their own monitoring and evaluation team to only monitoring the work of their some organization that they are dealing with. And they did not let them do the monitoring because they are doing the monitoring. So it is depends. So always not to stay what only I'm saying. There's a lot of ways to put the information here. Okay. So did you take a picture for this one? Why you need to make M&E to stop? Okay. So this one is a good one. Here's the question. So it's not only monitoring and evaluation. Sorry, not only it is not M&E, it is mainly monitoring sometimes, and evaluation will happen in different type of things. Some organization, they are far away from, the management is far away from the organizations, from let's say the branches. They don't have a connection, or they may wanted to make sure everything is going right on the track. So they hire an monitoring organization, which is, if you heard before about proximity, they have this option, and some other organization, they have this option. So they will do a monitoring for your staff, the staff that far away from you in the field or in another country. So they will do the monitoring to check them if they are doing their work, if they are giving the good result. They also check if it is the corruption or bad management or whatever. So it will be, let's say, visibility for everyone, that our work is visible to everyone. And yeah, so this is the idea. Evaluation, it is type of HR things, which is there is appraisal and evaluation. And evaluation happen periodically, let's say in every 3 months or 6 months or whatever. And the appraisal happen only in the end of the year, on checking the performance and behavior of each person. But evaluation will come and to check the result, and objective oriented, not only on the behavior of the staff and their attitude inside the work. Yeah, and this, the other one called the appraisal. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Before that, I will send you a link here. I think most of you are opening from your PC, not from your phone. Okay. Take a picture for this one. I know I have Mrs. Spelling here, and yeah. So, okay. This document, I want you to create only the structure of the framework. I put the name of everyone inside the document, a tab. You will press on your own tab and you will create your own framework, which is only the table and around it, not the details inside it. Okay. Let me open it in front of you to see it also. Okay. So all windows. Yes, sorry. I have so many windows. Yes. You see this one? Hand, Nadine, Omar, Saja, Fadi, Adra, Ahmed, Hassan. Okay. So just to create the table here, I will be watching you. If you have any question, ask it. Yep, now. Interactive experience. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Do you want me to close my shirt so everyone will not get confused about that? So everyone has have his own tab? If so, just say yes, and I will cut my share. Form response, or this one? Okay. And well done. So fast. Nadine, Omar just starting. Okay. Amna. Yeah. We have 10 minutes for this activity. It is only a small table. So let's go ahead and do it. Who will do it, the first one? Let's see. Sorry, I didn't understand the task. So I send a link, which is Google spreadsheet. The idea is to create a table, same as the sample framework, which is 5 or 6 tabs of, yeah, and everyone his own name is exist as a tab inside this spreadsheet. He can create his own table inside this spreadsheet. Like the link again. And already done. Nadine already done. Badi, Adra, Ahmed, Hassan, Amna. Amna, did you open yet?
Excuse me, what?
Did you open yet the spreadsheet?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, please. You have your own tab. Please go do it. Salar, why you didn't start yet? Please go ahead. Your table in Arabic? This is a shape. You can see, if you can see it from here. This is a shape of a table. You don't have to install it. It is available online. You don't have it. Just when you click the link, you can see it in front of you and you can edit anything. Okay, I think hand done already. Salah not starting yet. Nadine done already. Omar, are you here, Omar? So I need to install it again. Okay.
Hello, yes, I am. But earlier, I even sent you a message. I had a power cut earlier.
Okay, it is about just open the link and create a table.
I got disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will send you the link again here. And just open it and with the same table that was in the presentation, put it here. And you can also find it by your colleagues, Hind and Nadine already done. So it will be similar to like them. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, the one who putting a result here and you have your own name inside each tab. So press on your name. Who's writing here on this form response? Okay. Yes. No, it is not idraj, just it is this one, borders, hudud. Okay. Yeah, we will have a 3 minute and we will continue our, but you have to create it because we will need it a lot because we will create a tool. Okay. Anyone have a question, please go ahead. Who's this one? Who's writing here without his name? Write your name on the table, please. Okay. Yeah. Omar. Okay. Omar, not write it here. I already put your name. So just copy this one and put it inside Omar tab, which is this one. Okay. Uh, Thank you, Nadine and Hind. You are the first one who done it, and we are waiting.
Sorry, I didn't get you earlier. Sorry.
Just copy and paste it on Omar tab. I already put your name as a tab here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So thank you, guys. Let's continue our lecture, and I will ask you to complete it today because we will need a lot of information the day after today. Okay. So yeah. So why we ask for this one, because we are going to create a full monitoring kit. Okay. And I will also provide you with the standards that you will need when you are applying or doing your own monitoring toolkit. If you are, let's say, deciding maybe one day, or as a humanitarian, on the end, you will be a consultant or an expert. This is our life cycle. So when you will have a contract, they will ask you, let's say, to create a mail policy, for example, MNE policy, plan, for example, toolkit for them. So this one, you should put it in your bucket always to have your own toolkit and to apply it for the organization that you are dealing with and develop it depend on their need. Okay. Yeah. So let's back to our lovely BMZ monitoring. Okay. Yeah. What is the share? Okay. You see this one, which is mail framework. This one, if I can call it, this is the perfect sample for any meal framework. Okay, because it have mainly, let's say, a lot of things that you will need. So First of all, let's read it from here. Impact. But before that, sorry, I forgot something. There's one slide you have to see before we proceed to this one. Okay. Remember this word carefully, always. Put it as something in all of the project have input and output and monitoring. All. So every project in the world should have input, which is the thing that you will bring to achieve your project. And there is output, which is a result. Most of the project is have a process evaluation. So what the mean of process evaluation, we will do it on our big example. I'm always calling it like that. Some of the project have outcome. So all of the project have input and output. Most of the project have a process evaluation. What is the mean of process evaluation? It is inside the project, you have evaluation, which is, we call it RTE. What does RTE mean? Real time evaluation. Okay. So when you are giving something, you are evaluating the process. Also, this will happen also with your staff when they are applying the work and this other thing. So RTE, we will have a lot of things about, we will talk about it. Yeah. So all the project have input and output. Most of the project have a process evaluation. RTE, you can call it BE. Some of the projects have outcome, and a few have impact. Okay, so not every time, okay, you see a project, you see it will need an evaluation or it have outcome or impact. Not all the project have outcome and impact. Okay, all the project have input and output. Most of the process have a most of the project have a process evaluation. Some have outcome and monitoring and evaluation, and few have impact, which is a monitoring and evaluation process you can make on it. Okay, remember this one. Okay, because evaluation will happen if there is an impact. Okay, you can do an evaluation if there's an outcome, but mainly when you have impact, you will be asked to do evaluation. Sometimes you will not be asked to do evaluation. So when we hiring, we hire people and call them M and E, they will not work the E. Okay, they will work on the M, but it is rare they work on the E. It is rare. All their work and main of their work, even the M&E manager and these type of people. Okay. Maybe sometime they need the evaluation, but if it is, they are managing a recovery or impact, a project with impact. Okay. So remember, all the projects have output and input. Most of them have a process evaluation, which is you can do evaluation inside the project. If there is a deviation, mainly, if you see a deviation, if you are a project manager or program manager, when you see a deviation inside the trend of the work, you have to do the RTE and the equation of it and the details of it. Okay. Deviation, which is not deviation, which is when you are going on a trend and you see a big drop. Okay. So it is not going on the track. You will find out there's a big drop inside the work. For example, you are planning to distribute 10,000 food parcel, for example. And in the first month they distribute only 100. Second month they distribute 300, for example. There is a deviation factors inside it, which is we will talk about that. An example, okay? So you have to bring them right to the track, okay? There's an action inside this one, okay? This one will take a time when we are doing it, so it will be on the day after tomorrow. Yeah, we will talk about that because it is important to do the RTE inside the project and how you manage to see, let's say, to bring the staff and the people on the target that you are heading on. So sometimes we are hiring grant managers and the grant people to follow up on what happened from the target and the budget, and to, let's say, verify if we are reaching to the goal and the target of the project. But mainly sometimes it is the responsibilities of the program manager and the project manager to see their staff achievement and how they are doing. Okay, and we will talk about that. Okay, so a few of the project have an impact. Some of them have an outcome. Most of them have a process evaluation, sorry, and output and input, all of them. Okay, this is like the Holy Bible. Yeah, you keep it always with you. Okay, so let's back to our BMZ. Yeah, Nadine, I will have a big example. It will cover everything in monitoring and evaluation. But I guide you through, let's say, all the steps to reach to this example, which is a project with the process and analyzing it. And if there is a division inside it, what will happen, what we will do, yeah, it is a big example. So we will come to it, I think, the day after tomorrow, because we will have a time for that. Okay. And yeah, so let's jump to the BMZ. Not quick, but we will take the main things to keep it in our mind. Yeah. So as we said, remember, not all the project have an impact. So if this project have an impact, it is a bigger project. Okay. And what I mean bigger project, you cannot, let's say, measure it by the budget. Sorry, sometimes a big budget for only one equipment. Okay, yeah, but it is affect the community, affect numbers of people that will create a change in the society. Okay, so the main thing, let's say, our impact contribute to recovery of conflict affected women, men, boys, girls, and empower and heterogeneous their resilience. So we have 4 main target group, okay, in Empower, and we will talk about them. So we have indicators, and this indicators, we can see it is very smart, or we will do evaluation about it, because I make some change inside it to check out your, what's Saja? Sorry, chat is not, what is the purpose of project if with no outcome? Saja, output, okay. You create a project and the purpose of it is production. Not I'm talking about the human, I'm talking about the business side. So you create this project, this factory to produce a million bottle of water each month. This is the output. Each month, there is a production of 1 million water box. So mainly, okay, there's an impact and outcome, but this one, you cannot call it an outcome because it is mainly the profit project. They don't have an outcome, but I said mainly, but not all of them. Okay, keep that in your mind. So when we are coming to, let's say, the business side, for example, we are not looking about the change in the society. and also we said there's a social responsibilities from the donors and these type of guys to give the money, because there's a social responsibilities for every organization in the world to contribute in the society and to create the change. But if it is a project, let's say I want to create this watch, okay? I'll bring the equipment, I create it. Creating one watch from this equipment. So this project, don't have an outcome. What is the outcome? Here, it is one watch. So the outcome, if we will see it here, just focus with me here and you will understand it. I want you to really understand it, because some people and some of our staff, they lose when we set outcome and output. So why I'm here, I'm just giving you to the right way to, let's say, separate from outcome and output. Okay, so focus here. So this is the impact, and we have how to reach this impact to make the change for this boys and men and women. We should have an outcome. How many outcome we have here? 2. We have 2 outcomes. Targeted conflict affected people have access to improved. You remember what I said, improved, when you read outcome, and safe basic water, sanitation, and hygiene services through rehabilitation, reconstruction of community infrastructures in government and non-bar government. So if I want to say it here, sorry, if I want to say it here, this is my main goal. Okay, this is my main goal. I wanted to contribute to the recovery of the society. Let's say, cut it like that, in Ambar, the people in Ambar. Okay, so what I have, I choose the 3 segments here to work on. 12,000 household, or total 72,000 unique individuals, no doubling counting. Okay, and this is 3 indicators of the people who I'm choosing. But I want to divide this impact to 2 parts, which is, to reach this impact, I have to achieve 2 main parts, which is improve the safe basic and sanitation by rehab and reconstruction. We'll talk about the reconstruction and rehab here. Improve access to livelihood for novel returnees. So I have 2 main things to work on to reach to my goal. Mainly improving the infrastructures of the wash, which is the water and sanitation and hygiene. And second, improve access to livelihood, which is mainly the livelihood mean is you give them a work. I'm not making the definition, but you give them a work. From the work, they will get money so they can make a good living from it. So this is a livelihood work, like swimming, like carpentry work, or woodworking, metalworking, and etc. Any job you create for the people to get benefit of it. But first of all, you have to create the right place for them to be sit on, to be walk on, to drink the water from on. Okay, so my main 2 goals here is wash and livelihood. Okay, and if I reach to those, I will create an impact to contribute to recovery and conflict affected people. But here, if we can focus, this is wash, and we have 4 main things under it. Okay, of skin disease, population of reporting improved in hygiene, number of health and hygiene, which is, you can call this as the indicators. Okay, so after the outcome, you have output. Okay, so if I wanted to improve the water network in Iraq, for example, this is my bigger goal. I have to fix 600, let's say, water factory and piping system. Let's separate the piping system and water factory or the hygiene facility. So this 600, it is an output to let me reach to fix the network of all over Iraq of water. If I want to reach to this output, which is 600 water, let's say our hygiene facility, I have to create 300 project, for example, small project, or bringing a pipes and these type of things. And this activity I'm doing inside is, this is activity to reach to your output, and the number of the output will reach you to main outcome. And the number of the outcome will lead you to the impact. And also we said impact is affecting always and mainly affecting the society and the community. Okay, so to reach for improvement in the wash system, 5 rehab water system, 5 community health facilities to improve access to water and sanitation, 6 water community ranges and functional by end of the project. Okay, 4 local communities and municipalities have solid waste management plan. Okay, how many have output? I have 4. The combined of this 4 will reach me to the outcome. Okay, remember, the output is not an activity. It is sorry, the output is not an activity. It is what? It is a small objective that will lead you to the key objective, and the key objective will lead you to the goal, which is the goal is your impact. Okay, guys. Sorry. Yeah. That means profit. Yeah, it is not only on the profit, but I make an example about the profit mainly because they are not thinking about maybe the overall outcome. They are thinking only about the output. Okay, we have to achieve this one to this one. But you can say it like that. Impact is bigger than outcome. Outcome is bigger than output. Output, yeah, we cannot call it bigger. So if I wanted to reach to my main goal, which is changing the society, I have to bring them a good electricity, for example, good food, for example, and good water, for example. If I wanted to create a good food, I have to create, let's say, a clean market, a clean import from other places, or I will make an agriculture program, one. And these all type of things will lead you to your outcome, and the outcome will lead you to your impact. Right now, I know you are, let's say, having a lot of questions in your mind, and some of you maybe don't have a lot of questions. So the idea here, as I mentioned, tomorrow will be about the example that we will do. It will make it easier for you to understand the differentiation between this one and this one if you didn't understand it yet. But the more you get inside it, the more easier it will get to you, because I have main goal and I have 2 main key objective, and the key objective have no, let's say if I have a 4 output, let's say if I have an outcome, I should have an output for it. But if I have an output, maybe I have or I don't have an outcome for it. So this here we have a 2 outcome, and I think 8 to 9 output. Okay, so this outcome 1, which have 1, 2, 3, 4 output. This outcome 2, which is have 2, 1, 2, 2 output. Okay, yeah. So here is your indicators which is, as I told you, number or a percentage or an average, but it is mainly the number of the segment that you are working on or the target group that you are working on. The target, okay. When we are talking about the target, it is important to understand this number is important. If you are not good, let's say program manager or project manager, sometimes let's say you fell inside this one. Let's say, for example, you hear from your staff, the need is 20,000. You hear from the media, it is 30,000. So you go for 35. Okay, I will bring more. So this kind of people who is bringing more, they are falling down and they are not continuing their work, because when you want to plan for a project or design a project, you should be accurate in your information, okay? Because when you have a 12,000 people, you bring fund for 12,000 people, you bring aid for 12,000 people. But if you have, and you said, okay, I have 30,000 people, but you find out that it is only 12,000 people, you will have a lot of budget remaining and they will accuse you by bad planning. So this is why there is a method to calculate these numbers, which is experimental researches, quasi researches, which is if you know numbers of the people, if you don't know them, if you know the number of the society or the community, the number of the survey that you have. So this one also we will have time to talk about it in the next section, next lecture. Okay. Indicator definition, which is we said the definition of the indicator. The baseline, it is your starting point. So this project already done, and I wanted to create a new project, which is I did not reach to 12,000, for example. My baseline, which is the number I left here, or my baseline is the number that where the partners or the people in the community are left. The people, let's say, I have remaining 300 people without this aid. I have 200 people without this handicapped chairs. Yeah. Data collection, as we said, progress report, beneficiaries tracking record, which is from where you will bring this information and do it. Data collection method is the way you are doing it. Reconciliation of the beneficiaries, tracking with the minimum overlap and double count, complying with the information from yearly progress report. And the way you are doing it, remember, method is the way you are doing this thing. Frequency, maybe I'm doing yearly, monthly, weekly, daily, depend. And the person who's responsible or the team who's working on, the direct team who's working on this one, and the main, maybe sometimes you put them as your field staff, meal manager, the people you will see, they are responsible for this one to bring you this information. Okay, guys, we already passed 10 minutes in our training. Several output can lead to the same outcome. Yes. Thank you guys for today. I hope you have a great day, and we will do what we said earlier, Nadine, that we will discuss maybe if we delay the training tomorrow or do something about it if you are, let's say, wanted to take some reset. If not, we will continue as our same schedule. Have a great evening and take care, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you.